Some background: we have two maternal aunts who have suffered psychological issues. One is a diagnosed bipolar schizophrenic. My brother has always been an angry kid, and as we grew up, he would also keep weird things a secret. Did he graduate college or did he drop out? What does he do for his main income, etc.? My brother and CL have been together for 9, going on 10 years, and have been married for 1.5 years. They are about to have twin boys. My SIL is 8 months pregnant. 4 months ago, I would have told you my brother and sister-in-law were end game, the perfect married couple. Now it's off the rails. It all started for me when my sister-in-law announced they would have 2 baby showers, one at her mom's house and one at their house because both sides of the family are quite large. The shower at her mom's house was first, and I noticed my brother was really miserable. He's my older brother and is often, in my opinion, a jerk. But that day it was something different. Maybe it was that my sister-in-law was also a bit miserable, but she's also pregnant with twins, so she can be whatever the hell she wants to be, and that's okay. But my brother's attitude was abnormal for such a happy occasion that I even mentioned it to my boyfriend when I got home, and my mom and I spoke quietly about it at the shower and said a silent prayer for my brother and sister-in-law's marriage future. A few days later, my SIL texted me, "Your brother is going through something. I think his bottled-up past trauma with your parents is really getting to him as he's becoming a father. I want to support him, but he's completely shutting me out emotionally and physically. I would appreciate it if you could reach out. He needs people who love him. He's not himself. I would also appreciate it if you didn't mention that I sent you to check in. Not trying to spy. Don't need a report back. Just want him to have the support he needs." I reply, "Hey, I was thinking about checking in on him honestly, so I won't mention anything. I'm sorry you have to deal with him in his current state. There are definite reasons why I don't want to be a parent myself, and my brother's having to face probably some of the same tough realities. Is he working today? What's his schedule, do you know?" She replied with his schedule and also told me, "I can only imagine the pain both you and your brother went through growing up. I didn't have that experience, and your brother keeps saying because I didn't, we're too different. He planned a trip to Sedona during Mother's Day weekend to do ayahuasca." What the hell, I think to myself. So I give my brother a call and I try my darndest to have a heart-to-heart with him and feel out what's going on with him. I notice he is refusing to use team-building language when talking about the future and the twins. No use of the word we or us when discussing raising the kids. For me, that was a huge red flag. The next big concern for me was when I asked him about the ayahuasca soul-searching journey he was embarking on out of the blue. He wouldn't answer any direct questions about it. Really weird. The whole discussion, he was very nonchalant about everything. It was kind of unnerving, especially when I could feel in my bones that something wasn't right with him in the moment. I let my sister-in-law know that I checked up on my brother, and I wasn't quite sure what to make of him, but he's a bit moody and he is definitely stressed about the babies. My SEAL tells me a few hours later maybe it isn't about the babies and he just doesn't love me anymore. He had been emotionally cheating on me with his ex, Hannah, I think. I caught him texting with her since it came up on his phone in the car. I immediately call her. She recounts the last month or so of my brother being emotionally abusive to her, being very mean and spiteful and choosing out of the blue to start sleeping in the other bedroom. It seems like he is blaming everything on my SIL, including being pregnant and all the hormonal and emotional problems that come with that. Like they didn't spend a year doing IUI. It was an emotional conversion, and I was sick to my stomach afterward. I promised to be there for her and try my best to remind my brother how lucky he is in life to have her and how wonderful their future is going to be if he sticks it out, because marriage is hard and love is a choice. 2 short weeks later, my brother and Seal had their second baby shower. This is 1 week before Mother's Day, the weekend that my brother was going to AZ to do ayahuasca. All goes off without a hitch. I steal away a moment of my Sil's time before the party kicks off to check in, and she said they have had an emotional and psychical connection the other day and seem to be hopefully taking a positive turn. Good. Fast forward to Mother's Day weekend. I wish my Sil a happy Mother's Day and see if my mom heard from my brother. She said she hadn't, but oh well, my boyfriend and I continue to speculate on what my brother may actually be doing out in Arizona. The next day, Monday, my SIL messaged me and said it's been 72 hours without any contact with my brother, and she was getting worried. Damn, my stomach drops again. I'm getting sick of feeling sick over my brother. I think to myself, maybe my brother also got the chronic depression from our father's side and took his life out in the desert. I know that'd be my plan if it was me and I was feeling some type of way. So I tell Misael, who is in full panic mode, calling AZ police and hospitals, and the hotel in which my brother's spiritual journey launched from to no avail. I tell her my boyfriend and I will be over that afternoon to relax with her and cook dinner for her. We arrive and start talking about my brother and what she's been going through. We all start talking about the crappy itinerary he shared with her that looked like he typed it out himself. If it was a real spiritual journey, wouldn't it have been easier to print off the email confirmation or screenshot of the actual itinerary? My Sil also brings up Hannah. Can't believe we're talking about this woman who 10 years ago dated my 19-year-old brother for a year and a half and broke up with him twice in that time. Oh, and also my brother was lying about his age to her the entire time. What the hell? My Sil tells me that my brother has been talking to her, and he says it's not a big deal. It feels more like talking to an ex-wife, and it's nothing. He assures my CL that Hannah is now engaged and lives somewhere in the same state as them. My Sil then says, I found his contacts synced with his laptop and there are 2 phone numbers for a woman named Hannah. Okay, bet. So my boyfriend and I start looking up these numbers. I never met Hannah, but I knew some specifics. She and my brother met back in 2012, 2013-ish, and she lived down in SC. One of the numbers matched a one Hannah F who now lives in AZ and used to live in, you guess it, SC, during the exact time frame that my brother met her. So he made up the entire ayahuasca journey just to get a phone-free weekend with this woman who is probably on the ego high of a lifetime, having stolen this married man away from his pregnant wife. Obviously, we're all upset. My Sil is sobbing in my arms. I'm sobbing in her arms. It's a mess. My Sil confronts my brother via text as he's on the plane ride home. Fast forward to now, almost a month later, and the jig is up and the news is out. Everyone in the entire family knows. While we're all very concerned that my brother is most likely going through his first manic bipolar episode, I'm still reeling from the fact that my brother, the man 14 months older than me, the cornerstone of my existence, is not the person I thought he was. I mean, I literally have a living will drafted up saying he is the executor of my estate and the person who can dictate my care if I'm unable to. Now, I don't know if I would trust him to watch a fridge run. I don't know what to make of anything. This is obviously a developing situation, and it's very upsetting. I think the most upsetting thing is that my brother spoke to one of his best friends, a friend of almost 15 years, I would say, and he didn't mention one thing about his marriage falling apart or flying his ex-GF out for the weekend with him or flying back down to AZ again for another weekend with his ex-GF. The only thing he mentioned was, oh yeah, Sil plans to get a C-section. And his poor friend had to learn the hard way after his wife spoke to my CIL about C-sections. My brother's attitude through this whole ordeal has been that he's the victim because my Sil never lets him have a say, and that Sil's parents are overbearing. He has been robotic in all responses and isolating himself with his ex-girlfriend. If he just wanted out of the marriage, he could have had a conversation. He didn't have to go nuclear. If he really wasn't happy, why did they spend all that time on fertility? It makes no sense. Oh, and to add, apparently my brother is looking for engagement rings for Hannah. He is running up the joint credit card. Thankfully, CIL has moved her income and opened her own private accounts. My dad is convinced my brother is a no-good gold digger, but most of the family and friends think he is showing signs of bipolar disorder. The overspending on spontaneous flights to AZ makes me agree with that thinking. But my brother did make gold digger remarks when he started going on dates before he met his wife. Didn't think anything of it when their relationship lasted so long. Any advice on traversing what is probably going to be the hardest year of my life? Has anyone dealt with something similar? How did you maintain a relationship with your sibling? Did you maintain a relationship with your sibling?